Hello, it's Coach Cooper. We're coming back with another portfolio update. So go to Clever. Just want to start it like we usually do. Go to Google, log in, and you want to go to Google Sites, and you want to pull up your portfolio. And I do not want to just show me around because okay. New Google Sites. Pull up your portfolio. I already had one tab open. I've been working on it. So I'm going to go pretty quickly in this. I'm going to basically explain everything up to date. You're going to add it during class. I'm about 95% of the way updated, maybe 97. I'll add some stuff tomorrow in class. The link to see my portfolio, which from your perspective will look more like this, is found in Google Classroom under portfolios. There's a link. All right, so let's go ahead and go table of contents. You have a home page. You have an About Me section. I want you to add a section under the About Me section for the Heroes Journal, which is our creative writing mythology year-long project. Okay, if you do not know how to add a subpage, there are other videos, but it is right here. Add subpage, type it in. But there's other videos linked in Google Classroom. I think it's called how-tos. Okay. Additionally, I want you to go ahead and be proactive and put a government section and an economics section under Unit 2. If it turns out we organize our table of contents differently, we can move these around and move them in and out and things like that. Okay. We can see if they belong in a different unit. I haven't looked at the pacing guide, but for right now, go ahead and add government and economics because we can add artifacts under there soon and might as well be proactive. Okay. All right. In the Heroes Journal section, ooh, that was a mouthful. Here's what I want. Okay. First of all, what makes a hero? Okay. You need that question up there. You need the link to the What Makes a Hero video from TED Ed. This video should have already been linked in Unit 1 because we talked about this. It might be repetitive, but go ahead and link it again anyway. You can steal this from my portfolio. You may also steal the links to Pinocchio. It was in Daily Motion, and put those in there. Pinocchio is the movie we watched as an example of a hero's journey, because believe it or not, Pinocchio is a hero and follows the hero's journey. We have our movie reflection chart, which explains how Pinocchio follows the hero's journey. We have Heroes Journal 1, Heroes Journal 2. Let's look at it from the viewer's perspective. So I'm About Me, Heroes Journal. Okay. What makes a hero? Why is this not working? I guess it's still downloading. But you see the video. There it goes. You see the links. You can see all the papers that we did in class. And what I mean by papers are the notes we took on the video. So there's the links to Pinocchio. So you can see it from your perspective. And obviously you want to put your own notes, not the notes key, because some of you should have written different things. You want your link to, you can steal this one from me, this first link for Hero's Journey. The reason I put it in there is because it shows all 12 steps and it shows this diagram right here. Let me see if I can get a better picture. So you can see all the steps that we're going to be taking. You should be somewhere to 2. I'm going to assign 3 soon, and we're going to keep it rolling. So if you need to reference anything, there it is. You should have your Heroes Journal 1, and Heroes Journal 2 is coming up. That's due later in October, like the 24th or something. I'll show you where the date's written on the board. And then the last thing in there is this picture. You can steal this from me too. And it was talking about all the notes that we took on the 2 different journal entries and what we wanted them to be different. In general, we want it first person. We want it to be a narrative. We want to appeal to the senses like a good writer. We want to have dialogue. We want to watch our grammar. We want the plot to include geographic terms. This is a social studies class. But the differences between the two, if you really need to dig into that, you need to read the journal prompts. Okay? All right, moving on. Let's go to culture because there's a couple things you could have added. All right, so for culture, you should have most of this. You can take this video. We have language and religion notes. We have a language map, European language closed notes. This is all the stuff that should have been updated. This language map, that's the backside of the language and religion sheet. Judaism, learning map, one for Christianity, one for Islam. You have your research notes, right, for the major religions, right? And then I want you to link the projects. I do not want you to link these students' projects. I want you to link your own project in there where you picked one of the 3 monotheistic religions and did a report on it. And what I mean by report is a Google presentation. I have linked 3 student examples. You are free to look at them and see how they went. Plus, you have your own. So that's how that's going to work. All right. That's for culture to repeat. That's the additions to culture and reviewing what you should already have in there. All right. History. Okay. So there's a lot that's going to be in here. I didn't realize we've done a lot with history. Okay. And I'm a little bit ahead of the game on some stuff. So the first video we watched where it was talking about the people ended up being a video that talked about more about history. So we decided to put it in here instead of culture. So your I can statements, if I haven't mentioned those, now I'm mentioning them. You can take this picture showing the family relationships of the royal families during World War I, which is one of the lesser discussed backgrounds for World War I. We have our World War I learning map we did in class. That was notes on the board. We have our political map of Europe during World War I, which we did with mapcharts.net. I should have probably included Italy and Portugal in this because they were factors in the war. I did not. I don't really want to take the time to go back and adjust that now. Your portfolio doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the best. And with this map too, I think the most glaring error is Belgium. I definitely should have included Belgium in the Allied powers and Central powers. All right, so Treaty of Versailles notes where we highlighted the diagram. Your World War II learning map, right? That's a multi-flow map, cause and effect. The political cartoon we first looked at, which was the end of World War I. We talked about what we look for in political cartoons. We look at the words first. We look at the symbols or images, and from the words and the images, we have the summary. We looked at the political cartoon about Hitler crawling out of the Treaty of Versailles. It was how the Treaty of Versailles influenced World War II. We have the Nazism and Holocaust close notes from the presentation. These are not due till Friday, but I went ahead and finished them so I could have a picture to show you that it should be in your portfolio. Okay, I can explain how German reunification contributed to the collapse of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War. Okay, this PowerPoint slide I encourage you to look at. It was written by a student teacher of mine, but there are pictures of Pearl Harbor. There's pictures of the Berlin Wall. So feel free to look at it. It was given to me. And it explains why the United States got into World War II, some of the Cold War, and the collapse of the Berlin Wall. So you need to view that, please. We did a political cartoon about the Berlin Wall where Winston Churchill is looking under the Berlin Wall. We did another one where the communist side was standing in a bread line and the capitalist side was looking for jobs, right? So they had jobs, they had no food. We did that one. And then you drew your own. And so I chose the Cold War and I drew 2 stick figures here. And the United States guy that's kind of like a red, white, and blue hat, he's got muscles, but he's also got legs because, he's having a flex off during the Cold War, right? And he's trying to show his guns are bigger. And he says, never skip leg day, America, right? This is the guy from the USSR, and you can't see his puny legs. Now I'm mad at myself, okay? But the point was to show that it says, look at these guns. And the point is to show that the United States and the USSR were having really a flex off during the Cold War to see who had the biggest military, especially with atomic weapons. And I guess I'm a little bit biased because, of course, I was kind of showing the United States won the Cold War. But, with the collapse of the Berlin Wall, that is one of the things that we're sort of led to believe, because the collapse of the Berlin Wall led to the end of the Soviet Union. So I'll do a better job. I'll show you his puny legs. I'll do a better job with that picture somehow. But that pretty much covers it. That's fast. That's quick. I'm talking fast. If you have any questions about how to do any of this, you need to ask people at your table. And if people at your table don't know, then you can ask me, and we'll work it like that. Try to use your resources available, because you've been given lab partners for a reason. So this is what you'll be working on tomorrow. I might add a couple more things, but that pretty much covers it. Yeah. All right. Have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow in class.